Alright, so today we're going to be solving equations. These are the steps that we're going to follow, so if you need more time to write this down, go ahead and pause the video. And then in the second part of the video, we're going to be solving word problems. Alright, word problems, I know that you can sometimes guess and check to find out what the right answer is, but you really need to write an equation. That's the main thing, and you're going to be using these steps again to create your equation. So first you're going to read the problem, write an equation that has only one variable, solve the equation using these steps, and answer in a complete sentence. If you start with words, you got to end with words. Okay, again, pause the video if you need more time. Otherwise, we're just going to go into the problems. So problem number 1, if we see distributive property, we're going to do that first. So I see a distributive property here. We're going to do 2x plus 10. And then I'm going to combine like terms on the same side of the equation. So remember, like terms are ones that have the same variables. So we have 5x plus 10 equals 30. All right, step 3 is to move the variables to one side. So the only variable that I see is 5x. That's already on that side. So I need my number on the other side. I'm going to subtract 10. Right, that's my inverse operation. So if it says plus 10, I'm going to subtract 10. So I have 5x equals 20. All right, and then I'm just going to rewrite this up here. So make sure that you divide by the coefficient. Your coefficient is 5. That's a common mistake that people make. They divide by the wrong number. So that cancels out, and I get x equals 4. Okay, problem 2. I have no distributive property, so you move on to step 2. Combining my like terms, I have 7 minus 3. Just do the same operation. 7 minus 3 is 4x. Don't try to add this over here. We're not moving it to the other side of the equation. So bring down your plus 5, your negative 11. Now I want to move the 5 to the other side. So to undo it, I subtract. I get 4x equals negative 16. And then step 4 is to divide by my coefficient. So I get x equals negative 4. All right, I'm going to move through these pretty quickly because I think that you should know how to do these problems already from Algebra 1. So we've got negative 8 equals 6x, and we've got a negative 8 plus 6x. All right, now you're going to combine your like terms. These are like terms, so I have 12 x's. This time my variables are on the right, so I want to move my numbers to the left. So I'm going to add 8. I get negative 8 plus 8 is 0. And I'm going to divide by 12, and 0 divided by 12 is 0. Don't be afraid of getting 0 as an answer. Okay? I know a lot of people sometimes think that's wrong, but it's not. All right, now we see distributive properties. So negative 15x minus 6 plus 9x equals 15. Look for your like terms. Those are like terms, so I'm going to add them together, and I get negative 6x minus 6 equals 15. If you ever need to do something in your calculator, you don't know where I got that from, you can type in negative 5 plus 9. That's where I got the negative 6 from. All right, now I'm going to use my inverse operations to move the 6 over. So I have negative 6x equals 21. And I'm going to divide by negative 6. Now this time, this number doesn't come out even. So I'm going to do 21 divided by negative 6, and I get a decimal. So that answer is okay, but we're going to try to write everything as fractions. So find your fraction button. It's under math. So find your math button. It's the first thing here. Convert to a fraction, and I get negative 7 over 2. So that's how I want to list my answer. Okay, number 5. We have no distributive property. We have no like terms, so I'm just going to move my variables over. So since that's a positive 4, I'll subtract it. I get 8x plus 6 equals negative 10. And I want to move my 6 over. So I get 8x equals negative 16. And I'm going to divide by my coefficient, and I get negative 2. All right, same thing here. No distributive property, so I'm going to undo my 8x. I have 8x plus 8 equals 8. You have lots of 8s in this problem. You want to undo the plus 8. So we have 8x equals 0, and then divide by 8. So we get 0 again. All right, a couple more on this side. So distributive property, I have 4 minus 4x plus 3x equals negative 2x minus 2. I'm going to combine my like terms. So negative 4 and 3 is negative x, or negative 1x. And then I'm going to move my variables over. So I'm going to add 2x. So I have 4 plus x equals negative 2. All right, then I'm going to minus 4 on both sides. So I get x equals negative 6. All right, one more problem. So I see distributive property. I've got negative 12x minus 3 plus 6x equals 8x minus 24. Look at your like terms. You have negative 12 and 6. That's negative 6x minus 3 equals 8x minus 24. I'm going to subtract 8x to move my x's to the left. So I've got negative 14x minus 3 equals negative 24. I'm just going to rewrite it up here. I'm going to undo my negative 3 by adding 3. So I have negative 14x equals negative 21. And then I'm going to divide by negative 14. Now again, that doesn't come out even. So I'm going to do negative 21 divided by negative 14 and change it to a fraction so I get 3 over 2. All right, notice that over here I put in the negative sign. Make sure you're not using the minus sign. All right, so we don't want to do minus, that's subtracting, so make sure you use the negative sign when you do negative 21 divided by negative 14. Okay? All right, flip to the other side. All right, so 1/4 times 12 is 3x, and 1/4 times 16 is 4. If you don't know how to do that, use your calculator. So 1/4 times 12, that gives me 3. 1/4 times 16, that gives me 4. All right, the only thing here that you're distributing is the negative 3, so the 10 is still there, but it's negative 3x plus 6. All right, then make sure that you are following our rules from before. So we want to combine our like terms. We have 16 minus 3x. Then I want to add 3x to both sides. So we have 6x plus 4 equals 16. Move the 4 over, so we have 6x equals 12. And then last, you're going to divide. So 12 over 6 is 2. All right, and then the last solving equation problem. So we have distributive property. We have 5x plus 15 minus 2x equals 8 plus 12x minus 5x. Look for your like terms on the same side of the equation. So we have 3x plus 15 equals 8 plus 7x. And then I'm going to subtract my 7x. We have negative 4x plus 15 equals 8. Move my 15 over by subtracting, so I have negative 4x equals negative 7. And then I'm going to divide by negative 4. So when I do that, I get x equals 7 over 4. If you don't know where that came from, remember, use your negative sign. Negative 7 divided by negative 4. Change to a fraction, and you get 7 over 4. All right, so now we're going to get into the word problems. So as a reminder, we need to read carefully. All right, that's our steps from before. We need to create an equation. So if you look at problem number 11, it says two numbers have a sum of 15. If one number is 3 more than the other, then find both of the numbers. All right, so if they have a sum of 15, that means that they add to 15. So I have some number plus another number should equal 15. All right. One number is 3 more than the other. So if I want to say 3 more than, I would say 3 plus the other. So now make sure that your first variable is represented for the first number. So here's my first number. The other number is 3 more than the other, and that equals 15. This one's going to be kind of similar to some other problems that you'll see later on in this chapter. But here's your first number. Here's my second number. They add together to be 15. So here's your equation. You wrote your equation. Now you're going to solve it. I have x plus 3 plus x equals 15. So combine my like terms. I have 2x plus 3 equals 15. Solve like you normally would. All right, so after I divide by 2, I get x equals 6. Now it says find both numbers. So you have to actually do something with the 6. Go back and substitute in. So put the 6 in for x. That tells me my first number is 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. So we're going to answer the question. So the numbers are 6 and 9. You can go back and check. Do they add to 15? Yep. Is one number 3 more than the other? Yeah. So again, to get full credit, you need to come up with an equation, solve it, and write a sentence. You can't just guess and check. All right, we're going to keep going. So number 12, the sum of twice a number. So the sum means I'm going to add something plus something. It should be equal to something else. The sum of twice a number and 6. So twice a number means 2 times a number. And 6 is equal to, so that tells me where I should put my equal sign, the sum of, meaning I'm going to add something plus something, the number, and 4. Okay, so we're going to go back and double check that's right. The sum of twice a number and 6 is equal to the sum of the number and 4. All right, so there's your equation set up. Now you just need to solve. So 2x plus 6 equals x plus 4. Move your x's over, so you got x plus 6 equals 4. Subtract your 6, you have x equals negative 2. So that tells me that my number, that was my variable x, the number is negative 2. If you want to go back and double check to see if it works, 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. If I add these together, negative 4 and 6 is 2. That should be equal to the number plus 4, which is 2. So the number really is negative 2. All right, number 13. Tommy bought an iPod for $250. The sales tax rate is 7.5%. How much sales tax did he pay, and what was the total cost of the iPod? All right, so one thing to remember is if you have anything with percents, we need to move the decimal place 2 spaces to the left. So really we're going to look at this as 0.075. All right, so I'm going to write down that my tax is equal to the original cost times your rate. Okay, so my original cost is $250 times 0.075. So here's your equation. All right, so use your calculator. 250 times 0.075 gives you 18.75. All right, so make sure you actually answer the question. How much sales tax did he pay? That's my tax. So he paid $18.75 in taxes, I guess. And then what is the total cost of the iPod? So the total is going to be the original plus the tax. So we're going to do $250 plus our $18.75. And if you do that, then you're going to get $268.75. So the total cost is $268.75. So make sure that you actually answer the question. That's why we want you to write a sentence. It helps us actually get the correct answer, and not just stop when we solve and get some number. All right, the last two. Television is on sale for 20% off the original price. The original price is $550. Find the decrease in price and the sales price. So I'm going to take my original price, which is $550, multiply it by 20%, which we're going to say is 0.20. If you do that, you're going to get 110. So this is the decrease in price. And then to find what it's on sale for, we're going to do 550 minus 110 equals 400. Right, 20% off our original. So 550 minus 110 is going to give us $440. Oh, sorry, I did this wrong. All right, it's on sale for 20% off. So if it's 20% off the original price, my original price was, I x, I'm going to subtract 20%, which is 0.20x, all right? And then that's going to tell me what my sale price is. So that's how much you're actually, okay, no, sorry. I was right the first time. Never mind. All right, so 550 times 0.20, that gives us 110. And then 550 minus 110 equals 440. Okay, so let's do that again. The decrease is $110, and the sale price is $440. All right, last problem. Sorry for the confusion. A shirt is marked down for sale. The sale price is $24 and is 80% off, 80% of the regular price. So I was thinking of this problem. So our sale price is $24. It is 80% of the original price. So 80% is 0.08 or 0.80 times the regular price. So let's call our regular price X. All right, what's the regular price of the t-shirt? So here's our equation. If we're going to solve, we divide by 0.8. So if you do 24 divided by 0.8, you get $30. So X is equal to $30. So the regular price of the shirt is $30. All right, we'll do our secret word of the day. So the secret word is oops, because I made a big oops over there. Okay?